the power of curiosity and what it can do for you. Are you curious? Hi, my name's L Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women over 50 who are getting happy and growing younger. Okay, welcome to all my new subscribers. It's really great to have you here and I can't wait to get to know you. Now I can do that if you leave comments in the comments box on any subject, on anything that we talk about on the channel. If you leave your comments, I answer them all and we can get to know each other that way. I also have an email address. You can send emails to me if you prefer to do it that way. And we also have a Facebook group on Happy Stuff and Fluff. It's a private members group that you can join once you've subscribed, and you can continue to have conversations over there or post positive messages that you think are going to help the community. Okay, so curiosity then. Well, if you remember, those of you who were with me way back when, we talked about the VIA survey and character strengths. Now, if you don't know what they are, I will leave a link here to a playlist which will tell you all about character strengths, but I will leave a link at the bottom of this video too, so that you can actually take the VIA survey, which will tell you what your strengths are. There are 24 of them, and we work with what we call the signature strengths, which are the top 5, or your top 5 strengths. However, study after study has shown these five strengths to be the top in terms of happiness. They've kind of become known as the happy strengths, if you will, and they are gratitude, hope, zest, love and curiosity. Now, we've looked a little bit at gratitude and hope, and we will be going back to them. But today I want to talk about curiosity because it really is a superpower, and it isn't just about directly increasing your happiness levels, but those people high in curiosity are also the best workers. They're also the best leaders, team leaders. And if you think about it, it's easy to see why, because those people who at work who are high in curiosity are constantly looking and trying to find ways of doing things better. So it helps in the workplace too, as well as increasing your happiness levels. Okay, so it's important. But it's also important for those of you who are suffering from low mood, or if you know someone who's suffering from depression or low mood. Curiosity is linked to that too, because those people who are suffering from depression tend not to be very curious at all. In fact, if you think about it, they seem to, one of the things is that they lose interest. Now, whether that's because of their feelings of depression or whether the loss of interest is actually a cause of the depression, I'm not sure. Anyway, what we need to do, whether you are suffering from low mood or not, is to increase your curiosity, is to build on that curiosity in order to increase your happiness levels. Now, if I can just go back to last week, or it might have been the week before, I actually said that I was going to do a series of videos about depression. Now, thinking about it, and when I've been doing the research, everything that I read, excuse the telephone, I'm going to let it ring. No, I'm not. Sorry, I couldn't let the phone keep ringing. What was I saying? Yes, so everything I was reading and researching about depression and how to help people with feelings of depression were also things that help us in general. We all at times feel down or have low mood and so on. And so everything that I would be talking to someone about in terms of suffering from depression will also help those of us who don't actually suffer from depression, but do, as in life, very often have feelings of low mood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue just to do my videos as normal. if something specific comes up with reference to depression, I will mention it, but I'm going to create a playlist which will be called Dealing with Depression, and any of the videos that are more specifically related to that, then I will put in the playlist, so that if you're interested in that, you can have a look at all the videos under that heading. Now, talking about playlists, just in case you don't know about them, on my channel I have all of my videos are categorised under certain headings. So for example, if you're interested in depression, there will be a number of videos under a playlist that you can just watch them all. And then also, say, for example, positivity or some of the skincare are all categorised and all put together. And you can find those by going to the channel homepage, and you'll find the playlist there. Okay, so you can do that. Right, so then let's go back to curiosity. Well, first of all, let's have a see what that well-known, renowned, amazing philosopher Christine L Conroy has to say about what curiosity means. So she says, well, actually these are not my words because this is from the VIA survey, but so curiosity comes under the wisdom and knowledge groupings of strength, and it's about being interested in experience for its own sake, being open to exploring and discovery. Okay, so that's what we mean when we talk about curiosity. So those people, as I've said, lost my track a little bit thanks to the phone ringing. Those people who have a lack of curiosity, it's linked to low mood. But those people who have high curiosity levels is linked to greater happiness. That's why it's in the top 5. So all of us need to increase our curiosity and build our curiosity. So how do we do that? Well, let me relate this to something in your kind of everyday living, which is what I like to do. So if you're going through a particularly bad time, or if you've done something wrong, or if you are going through a low mood period, or even suffering from depression, instead of being judgmental about the situation when something goes wrong, where you say things like, oh, I'm so stupid, or there must be something wrong with me, or there is something wrong with me, I'm going crazy, there is no point. Ring any bells from last week and the growth and fixed mindset? Well, if you're feeling like that, and those statements are all judgmental statements about yourself. There's something wrong with me, for example. So instead of jumping straight to those judgmental questions and the fixed mindset statements, we need to move ourselves into growth mindset, into a more curious way of thinking, because curiosity is an antidote to the fixed mindset, and start to ask questions about the situation instead. So be curious. Instead of saying there's something wrong with me, then ask a question like, for example, I wonder if I could have done something differently. What could I have done differently? Let me think about it. No, I am joking there, but I'm quite serious. It's trying to flip your thinking into a more curious way of thinking, a more questioning way. So, for example, what could I do? Why don't I try such a thing? Or what might the next step be? So if you are feeling down, you could say to yourself, well, if I wasn't feeling like this, or if I was going to try to stop feeling like this, what might my next step be? Or what might the first step be? And once you get onto that kind of cycle of more curious thinking, it starts to upward spiral instead of downward spiral, and you get the positive benefits from it. Let's just have a look at the benefits of curiosity then, why it's so important to us. So if you look here, this is by, as you can see there, by Dr. Bruce Duncan Perry, who is a recognised authority on brain development, basically. And these are the benefits that he says of curiosity. So being curious leads to exploration, as we've said. Then that leads to discovery. and discoveries make us feel pleasurable. That leads to pleasure. That leads us to wanting to do more of it, so repetition, which leads to mastery, which gives us new skills. And we know that when we acquire new skills, that gives us confidence, which builds our self-esteem, which gives us a sense of security. And that sense of security encourages then to do more exploration, and the whole upward cycle starts again. Okay, now obviously that's going to happen over time, and that's going to happen once you start to get the habit of curious thinking, questioning. How do you do it in terms of action? Because I'm always saying, it isn't about just being curious. No, you might think, well, I'm thinking, I'm asking questions, but that it doesn't stop there. You have to then take action and do that next step. What might the next step be? Brainstorm a few answers to that. Pick out one that you could possibly do and do it. So let's see. Things like, what could you do? Just tomorrow, go to work a different way. I wonder if the traffic's so bad that way. I wonder if I might see different people if I go to work this way instead of that way. I wonder if there are as many traffic lights on red going that way than they are this way. Just little things like that to build your curiosity muscle. Ryan Nemick, who wrote the foreword to my book, who's also the education director, I think that's his title, at the VIA survey, he talks about making the mundane a little bit more interesting by asking questions. So, for example, if you were doing the washing up, look at things that you can think of that you haven't noticed before whilst you're washing up. So, for example, this is another great one to do with your grandkids to build their curiosity muscle. I think I'll do a video purely for things to teach your grandchildren, but this is one of them. So, notice the smell of the soap. Notice the smell of the soap. Notice the bubbles. What colours can you see in the bubbles? Just try to notice something that you've never noticed before about that particular mundane chore that you have to do. And not only does that build your curiosity muscle, you'll also get more enjoyment out of doing the washing up. So you see where we are going with this particular idea. So you've got there the explanation of curiosity, the benefits of curiosity to all of us. It's up there in the top 5. If curiosity is not in your top 5 and it's somewhere like 11, 12, you start working on this and asking these questions when something happens at work or when something goes wrong. Instead of jumping to judgment questions, think about learning questions and start asking, what could I do? Can I do this differently? How can we do this better? Or how can we do it better next time? And now I know if you're suffering from depression and you are not interested, this is going to be a big thing. It's going to be something very difficult for you to do. And so, like I said before, you've got to do baby steps, make it something small. I wonder if today I could leave the house before lunchtime. I wonder if today I could get out of bed sooner than normal. You know, little things. I wonder if I could make some lunch, if I could go out to the shops, ask questions like that, and then take the action. But do it slowly and build on it, and let's build our curiosity muscle, because like I've said to you, it's going to help you at work, it's going to help you in everyday life, it's going to help you in your romantic relationships. I've been married forever, and what happens when you've been married a long time or you've been having a long-term relationship, it's not necessarily, friction all the time. Boredom seeps in. You've got to find ways of keeping your relationship alive and exciting. Curiosity. Instead of thinking, oh, I know all there is to know about this man. This man? In case you don't know who he is, he's Freud. That's Freud, Mr. Freud. There must be things I don't... Why does he wear his glasses like that? Oh my, look at this jacket he's wearing. I wonder why he chooses to wear all black. Start to ask questions, different questions, and you might even see your partner a little bit differently. Let me know what you think, as always, in the comments box. As I've said before, comments are my lifeblood, my oxygen. I love them and I love answering them. So please leave your comments. Remember to smash the thumbs up if you like the video. And if you haven't yet subscribed, come and join us. We'd be delighted. Okay, that's it. It's actually going dark now outside. So I'm going to leave it here and say, until the next time, remember that on the Happy Stuff and Fluff, we are getting happy and growing younger. See you next time. Thank you for being here. Bye.